What's up, you beautiful people? Welcome to another video. Okay, so today I'm going to break down a simple 6-step process that you can follow to build $1 million business in any industry. I know this works because I have done it firsthand myself, and about 3 different industries, cracking 7 and 8 figures. And then I've helped dozens of students at this point to crack $1 million years as well. And they are in all sorts of industries, ranging from real estate to media to services to manufacturing, right? You name it, we have done it. This process will work. So let's dive right in. The first thing I want to frame here is the idea of the magical customer journey. I'll have a news pop it up here on the screen so you can see the image, but it's an infinity symbol that has 6 distinct sections. And each one of these, once you plug it in the right order, regardless of what industry that or what kind of product or service that you sell, is going to help you scale, right? And it's a beautiful infinity symbol. It's a feedback loop. So as you start in one spot and you go around the loop, you come back the other side, it just keeps accelerating onto itself. It goes faster and faster, and you build faster. Okay, so the 6 different parts of this is awareness, you have consideration, you have conversion, you have activation, you have retention and ascension, and then advocacy, or like becoming an advocate. That's a funny word. You probably have never heard of advocacy, maybe. Okay, so let's take it from the very beginning. Okay, the very first thing that you need to build into your business is some sort of awareness engine, right? Like at the end of this is what we call marketing. You can't save souls in an empty church. If nobody knows you exist and that you have the cure to their cancer, you cannot help them. So the very first thing that we have to do is overcome obscurity. We have to get people to know that we exist, okay? And so like there's really fundamentally 2 different ways that you can make people aware that you exist for your business. You can be a hunter or you can be a farmer. A hunter is going to go out there and they are going to manually track down leads. That's like cold calling, it's door knocking, it's asking people one-on-one for referrals, right? Like you're physically going out there and tracking the people down one by one, tapping them on the shoulder, be like, hey, would you like to do business with me, right? It works. And here's the thing. I'm going to give you guys the high level strategies here. And I'm going to give you 2 specific examples of how I've done this in 2 specific use cases. So you can see each one of these stages, which ones of these levers we decided to pull, which ones we decided not to, because it kind of depends on which business model you have, your skills, your predilections, like what you like to do. For me, my very first business was window washing. We started with door knocking, because I didn't know anything else. Like I was literally just like, I don't know how to find people besides just going to where they live and knocking on their door, right? And that's a form of being a hunter. Being a farmer, though, is more about planting seeds, and then those seeds, they come to fruition, they attract people to you. And so that would be like running paid ads, whether that's buying a billboard, buying an ad on the back of a public bus bench. It could be running ads on Meta or on Google, right? So like you're paying money in exchange to get awareness, get eyeballs onto your thing. The other way is through organic content. Those are really like the 2 best ways to farm for attention, is either pay for the attention or create organic content that attracts people. So like what I'm doing right now with this video, this is a form of organic. If I didn't decided to take some ad money and boost this or target the demographic that I think would be best served by this, now I'm using organic and paid, right? So like there's a synergy here. It doesn't have to be one or the other. But to get to $1 million, you kind of have to pick a lane. Like to get to $1 million a year, you don't want to be cold calling, door knocking, buying ads, and running content. It's too much, you're too small, and you don't have the skills yet or the resources to be able to make that work. And the truth is, like any one of these can get you to 8 figures and beyond. So like 7 figures is like a foregone conclusion, but you have to pick one. So the trick here is to figure out the one that works best for you. For us, window washing, back when I started, that would have been like 2012, 2013. We didn't have the same organic content infrastructure back then. Not only that, but I don't think people would really be buying window washing through like Instagram. So like I still would have either been door knocking or running ads. Like that would have been the 2 predominant ways. But I don't think organic content would have been the play there. You compare that to say, Invictus Capital, which was our real estate private equity fund that we grew to $100 million top line valuation. That was almost all entirely off the back of organic content. So it just depends. Like you have to couple your skills, your business model, and what you like to do. Like if you're just like dreading knocking on doors, like that's probably not going to be for you. Like pick something else, pick a different model, right? We don't want to like underestimate the value of not just product market fit, but product market founder fit. Like you can have the great product that the market really wants, but if you're not the right founder to take that product to the market, like you're just going to be burning out. Okay. So that's number one. Like you have to get awareness, and you're doing this either through being a hunter or being a farmer. The second part of the customer journey is the consideration phase, because like the truth is that like most people are not going to buy if they just see your Instagram reel. They might not even buy just you knocking on the door. So we need to have something that gets them to consider and want to do business with us, to go deeper into the world of us. And so for me, the best consideration platforms I've seen have been either a podcast, a YouTube channel, or a webinar. So those are kind of the big three. So like, let me break these down. The value of like a YouTube video like this is if you were to see my Instagram, let's say Instagram reel, right? That's organic content, getting awareness. Now I'm driving that over to this YouTube video where you can go deeper with me. You can hear my thoughts, my insights, and you think, hey, maybe I want to work with Anthony on scaling my business to 7 or 8 figures. Like, cool. Like that's exactly what this video is designed for. Or maybe you just take this information, you run with it, and you don't even work with me. That's really awesome too, right? But like that works really well for this particular product or service. Let's say though, I was running paid ads. With paid ads, you are putting out money every month to get eyeballs on your thing. So you kind of want to liquidate that cost as quickly as possible. What I mean by that is like, you don't want to just like spend $10,000 and then take 3 months to recoup that $10,000 from those customers. Like, because there's a long lead time, customers need to be nurtured. Like maybe it takes them 90 days to finally close on the deal. And you don't want to just be pouring out money in the meantime. So one of the best consideration mechanisms for a business of that sort would be a webinar. Like a paid webinar in particular is super powerful and getting really popular these days at the moment. They kind of went through like, they're going through a resurgence. There was a period of time where like the world was like overwhelmed with webinars, and they weren't quite as effective. But now if you run, say, like an ad on Facebook that then drives people to, say, a $50 webinar or a masterclass, then on that masterclass, they get tons of value, and it kind of serves as a sales call for like one to many. Now you can convert them on the higher ticket thing. That's a really great way to liquidate your ad costs, because even if they don't end up getting your higher ticket thing, coming to the webinar for $50, maybe if your cost of, client acquisition was only like $20, hey, you just made your money back plus a little bit to pay for the next customer that comes in the pipeline, right? So like, that's how we're thinking about this first part of the customer journey, is like, how do we build awareness and consideration, get people going from, I have no idea who you are, to suddenly being like, I know who you are. I like what you do, and I want to work with you. That then leads us to the third part of the journey, which is conversion. You need to have a conversion mechanism. And again, like depending on your business model, there's all sorts of different conversion mechanisms. So there's a landing page. You could have cold emails, or you could do all of your sales in an email or in like a DM, like what do they call that? Sell by chat. Yeah, people like to call it sell by chat. Or you could just do a sales call, right? Like those are like the 3 predominant conversion mechanisms. Either people go to a landing page, they check out themselves. Awesome. That works really well for products. It works really well for low ticket services. Doesn't work so great on like super high ticket offers unless you have a ton of brand reputation, a ton of reach, in which case that can work. From there, a slightly more like hands-on but still low touch approach would be, okay, I'm going to close you in an email. That is, okay, you watched my Instagram, you signed up for my YouTube, then you gave me your email to get on my email list. I send you weekly emails, and every now and then I send you an email that says, hey, do you want to work with me? Now I'm closing you in the email. Same way it would work on the DMs, right? So it's a slightly higher touch, but we're not hopping on a call, not taking up a ton of my time. The third conversion mechanism is just a straight up sales call, right? And so like, if you wanted to pair these and think about them abstractly to like the dollar amount that you're paying. So like a low ticket offer, okay, go to a landing page. You probably don't need to have a sales call to convert somebody on a $20 product. It's not worth your time, right? $20,000 product, you probably need to have a sales call. So you need to be thinking about, okay, what's the right conversion mechanism for my product or service? Also consider the fact of like, what fills your soul with joy. If you absolutely abhor one-on-one sales calls, maybe find a different mechanism or build out a team to handle that for you. All right. Now, let's assume that this person has come through, they bought, and they're like, hells yeah, I want to work with you. They saw your Instagram reel, they went to your YouTube, they went to your landing page, you're like, give me all the good stuff. All right. Now we enter into the phase of activation. This is where we onboard the person and we start delivering and fulfilling on results. And this is really important because like at the end of the day, like your business is not going to go very far if you cannot deliver results. Now, because there is so much variability in the type of business that you might be building. I can't go into the depths of like, here's the delivery protocol I would recommend if you have this business or this business, this business. It's like, it's too much. But what I will say is this, is that of all the parts of your business, this is the most systematizable. It's the most standardizable. So as soon as possible, you want to be taking your process for delivering a result to a person and creating a machine out of that so that anybody could come in, turn the crank, and produce the result for that person. Like, that's the fulfillment side. Those are the easiest people to hire, bring in, and let run. Whereas things like marketing and conversion, like sales calls, that is so much more, I'd say, high skill, high touch, high leverage, and harder to systematize in a meaningful way, that you're probably going to keep your fingers on the pulse of those personally as the founder for longer than you would on the fulfillment side. Okay. So that's activation. That leads to, if you've activated, if you've gotten the person correct results, if they're really psyched on this, then you want to be thinking about advocacy. Okay, so advocacy is getting somebody who has gotten the result to do a thing that gives you a tremendous amount of value. And that thing, it doesn't require them to pay for anything. What that is getting them to leave you a review. It could be giving a testimonial. It could be them making a referral, right? Like, you want to have a process for turning your fans, turning your customers into raving fans, so that they might come in as a missionary. I paid for this thing, but then they got the result. And now you want to turn them from a mercenary into a missionary. And so we want to have a mechanism in place so that every customer that engages with us ultimately doesn't just buy the thing, but they end up leaving a review or testimonial that we can then use in our marketing to raise more awareness, build more consideration, that helps the flywheel spin even faster. All right, so that's the fifth part. The last part, before I break down 2 examples from businesses that I've personally built myself, these different systems, is the retention and ascension side of the equation. So, like, ideally, every customer that comes in, they buy the thing, and then we turn them into an advocate, and then we get them to buy more. Like, that's a retention mechanism. Like, you could have a subscription, you could get them to buy more of the same thing, or you could upsell them. That's the ascension part. Like, okay, how do I graduate you up? And the thing to always be thinking about is that every customer that comes into your world, they came and bought your product or service to solve a problem that they have. But in solving that problem, it reveals the next level problem that they have to solve, right? New levels, new devils. And so you want to have a solution for that new devil that they're going to fight at that next level, so that you can ascend them through that. And that brings them all the way back down into the bottom of the infinity symbol, back to the beginning where we started, which was to make them aware of this new problem that they have, make them aware of the solution that you have to it, get them to consider it, get them to convert on it, get them to activate, right? So you see how we just go around and around the lobes of this infinity symbol. And if you do this correctly, you're going to have no problem getting to $1 million a year, guaranteed. Okay, so let me give you some examples here. First example is Escape Climbing. This was a manufacturing company that produced rock climbing widgets. We sold in a number of different ways, but like, the way that we got people aware of us was very, very simple. It was organic Instagram. That was it. That was like our only play. We didn't run ads. I didn't know anything about running ads. If I had to go back, because this was like a physical product that we were running on Amazon and through our own online store, I would have been running ads. I just didn't know how to run ads. Like, it didn't occur to me. So we were running organic Instagram reels. And so we would do posts, we would do reels. And then the real trick for us was actually going and engaging with everybody. So this is like 2015, 2016. We'd go find all the other rock climbers, all the other influencers in the industry, and we'd just go comment on everybody's threads. We'd say, hey, what's up? And we connect. We like actually made social media into this social thing. From there, that's how we got awareness. And then we would drive that awareness to consideration. And we would do that by throwing people to our YouTube channel, where we would produce a ton of educational content about like training mechanisms if you wanted to, get to that next level in your climbing, or how to build a home woody, or how to train at home during lockdown if you don't have a ton of resources, right? So we would drive people from Instagram over to YouTube, and then from YouTube, they would go to our website. And our whole conversion mechanism system was just a landing page that we just literally, like, here's some pro tip, by the way. All we did to design our landing pages is we went to Amazon. We looked at Amazon's landing page, like, for the products, and we're like, Amazon has spent billions of dollars optimizing this landing page. Let's just copy it. So we just copied it. Not like here's where the product is. Here's where the bullet points are. Here's where you put the price. Here's where you put the checkout. Like, underneath that are the reviews. Here are also bots. Here are the other, right? Like, so we just copied the page, worked like gangbusters, right? Next was delivery. For us, the delivery mechanism was people would buy on Shopify. So we had Shopify running as our backend or on Amazon, and we would do fulfillment by Amazon. So they would buy there. That would go straight to our production team. The product would get made on demand. It would get pushed up to shipping, and then the shipping would manually deliver, or not manually, but like manually ship out the products from the front of the house. So that was like our entire delivery activation system in a nutshell, right? From there, okay, how do we turn these people into advocates? And so what we would do is like after about 48 hours from purchase, we would send them a customer like satisfaction survey to get like what people call NPS, your net promoter scale. It's a good way of gauging, are people psyched? If people aren't psyched, it gives you an opportunity to fix the problem. A lot of times what's really interesting was like we were sending out hundreds of packages every day, and that 48-hour follow-up was really valuable because a lot of times those packages would get lost through no purpose, like no fault of our own. Like USPS would just lose them. And so those clients would just be like, oh no, I haven't gotten it. We're like, oh really? You should have gotten it by now. So then it gives us an opportunity to fix it and make it right, rather than sitting around for a week or two for them to finally go, wait, I never got the thing, and having to deal with an upset, disappointed customer, right? So then once we found, got the results of the customer surveys, if somebody came back and was like, yeah, it was a 10 out of 10, I loved it. We're like, cool, would you like to leave a review? We'll give you 10% off your next purchase. Sweet. And we'd send them over to, the website, send them over to Amazon and have them leave a review, turn them into an advocate. Huzzah. Okay, so then for retention and ascension, what we would do is for each one of our customers coming through that was over a certain dollar amount, we would create personalized offers and discounts on the next product that they would probably need. So if they bought this training implement, then we're like, hey, you know what goes really well with that implement is this other implement. And you probably also need like this training tool, this recovery tool. We put it together in this package for you. Here's a 20% off if you want to buy it. And we just send them that. And like, I'm telling, it's crazy. Like, I would say like 20% of people just buy without even like, it's like a no-brainer. It's just like, okay, yeah, just buy, right? Other like maybe 10%, 13%, they have to think about it a little bit more, but still like, it's just easy money sitting right there. And all it took for us was like personally reaching out with a individualized offer. So that was Escape. That was our entire process, right? That was the awareness, that's consideration, conversion, that's activation, that's advocacy, that's ascension and retention. Another business, though, would be something like this, like what you're watching right now. We have a group coaching program that we run for 6 and 7 figure entrepreneurs that are trying to scale to that next level without, building a business that they grow to hate. And so take this as an example. Our marketing, our awareness engine is a combination of Instagram. So I put out reels, put out carousels over there, do daily LinkedIn posts, and those generate tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of eyeballs every single month. And then those get driven over to our consideration platform, which is what you are watching right now. By the way, like you're in the funnel. Huzzah, right? So that's what this YouTube channel is. It's an opportunity for you to hear me, I like what he has to say. Maybe I want to work with him. Maybe he can help me get to that next level. And if not, then you can take this information, you can apply it to yourself and like get to the level where maybe you do want to work with me in the future. Or this just makes you go, I don't like this guy at all. Like, what are you still watching for? You're like, I don't even know how long I've been here, but like, you're too long into this video. If you're not enjoying it, if you're not getting value, so if you are getting value out of this, you need to push the like button right now. Leave a comment down below. What's your number one takeaway? Okay, so let me keep going. That was just like the shameless YouTube pitching right there. Okay, so we have our awareness mechanism, Instagram, LinkedIn, funneling over to the YouTube channel, but also we have a podcast. Also, we have a book. Like, so there's other consideration channels that I use for this particular avenue. But the conversion mechanism, I don't have a landing page. You can't go to a landing page and buy from me. Like, if you want to work with me from coaching, you can't do it there. It's top secret. I'm actually very selective about who I choose to work with. Now, you can go to beyondtheapex.com and you can apply to work with me, and then we will have an email conversation back and forth. And if I think it's a good fit, I'll invite you to join. But that is the conversion mechanism right there. It's pretty handy, right? Next is delivery. Delivery is, okay, if you decide in that email conversation, I want to work with Anthony. I want him to help me like turbocharge my business. I'm going to send you a Stripe link. You're going to pay. That's going to go to my assistant. They're going to send you a welcome email with all the next steps that you need to follow to get like into the program, get up to speed, get up to running, and then you're going to schedule an onboarding call with me. That's the delivery mechanism right there, right? And then you're going to put the weekly group coaching calls on your calendar. You're going to come each week. You're going to get tons of value poured into you. And then you're just going to do the work and it's going to be awesome. Then we go into the advocacy, or turning you into an advocate, right? So the moment that you get a result, the first result, I'm going to come to you and I'm going to say, hey, would you mind just leaving a quick testimonial. Like shoot a video, just talk to the camera and tell me like, what was it like before working with me? What was it like after working with me? What changed, right? 30 seconds, make it real quick, right? I do that after the very first victory. Now, after the second big victory, or the really big, like most people come in to work with us, they want one, there's like a big goal that they're shooting for. Once they've overcome and like tackled that, I go to them, I'm like, hey, do you want to do a case study? Like you and me, we'll hop on a call. I'll get you to break down for me what you did, what worked, what didn't, like what was the game changing. So we go deeper. So it's not just a testimonial, but it's an actual video that other people could watch. Like I'm a big fan of this for a lot of the clients that I work with. They've used this to the beautiful effect. So like I can put a couple of links, like maybe put one for Wyatt up here over to his channel. You guys can check out exactly like how he's doing this. It's beautiful. And then at the very end of that, I'm going to ask for a referral. So after 90 days, I'm going to come back to you and be like, hey, do you know anybody that should be in this group? Any other entrepreneurs that we can serve? Would you mind making an introduction? Right. So that's how I turn you into an advocate. And I'm spilling all the beans here. Like it's going to, if you join and you come and work with us and then you're like, get into the program and you're like, oh my God, he does exactly this. This is what he's doing. Like, yeah, this is the secret sauce right here. Last, retention and ascension. So there's really three things here for keeping people longer and then getting them to ascend up and to graduate up into the next level. First is at the end of the year, there's a personal invite to renew. That's me just reaching out. Hey, let's keep it rolling. Like I'd like to have you back for another year. I think this is great. Get the compounding interest of working together over time, like play long-term games with long-term people. Boom. Come into the next program, or come like just keep running with the same program. The other option is, hey, I think you'd be a good fit for one-on-one coaching. Now I only take on 3 students a year. So like, it's very rare that I make that invite, but if there's an opportunity where I'm like, that person is a perfect fit for this, then I reach out and ask for a one-on-one. The other option is something that we call chief of content. So we have a couple of people that we will help with their chief of content. Like that is us coming in, helping them with their content. And so a couple different ways that you can retain and ascend different people within that ecosystem. But the reason I share all this is not a sales pitch. Like I just want you to understand the different mechanisms and how they play out, whether that's a manufacturing and retail product environment or in a digital information coaching services business. Very different applications of the same funnel, right? That's the trick. Take this video, dissect it, really get clear about your 6 functions inside of your funnel, how you are executing each one of those. And that is the secret to building $1 million business.